Picture two British workers, same employer, same desk, the same £40,000 salary, paid every month for 30 years. Now fast forward, they are both in their 70s. One of them is standing in the aisle at Aldi, squinting at the price of a box of eggs, doing the maths on whether they can afford the branded ones this week. The heating goes on for 2 hours a day, and only when it is truly cold. The other one? They are booking a Mediterranean cruise for the autumn. Last month, they helped one of the grandkids put down a deposit on a first flat in London. They do not check the price of eggs. They have not checked the price of eggs in years. Same salary, same country, same taxman, completely different endings. The difference was not luck. It was not a lottery win or a secret inheritance. The difference was a handful of habits, repeated quietly for decades. Today we are going to walk through 6 of them. 6 signs that, whatever your bank balance looks like right now, you are quietly on track to retire rich here in the UK. If you recognise yourself in even 4 of these, you are already ahead of most of the country. Sign 1. You know your numbers. Here is an uncomfortable truth. Most people in Britain have absolutely no idea how much they will need to retire. They have a vague feeling that a pension will sort it out, and they leave it there. The people who retire rich know their target to the pound. The Pensions and Lifetime Savings Association publishes the benchmark every year for a comfortable retirement today, where you are taking 3 foreign holidays, running a car, and never flinching at a restaurant bill. A single person needs around £43,900 a year. A couple needs around £60,600 a year. Step down to a moderate lifestyle, and a single person needs roughly £31,700. Now here is the gap nobody talks about. The full new state pension is only around £12,500 a year. That is it. The distance between that £12,500 and your real target, that is the pension gap, and it is yours to fill. Sounds frightening, but here is the secret. Simply knowing your current pension balance puts you ahead of around 80% of the population. Most people have never once logged in to check, so log into your workplace pension, log into your SIPP, add them up. The moment you know your number, you have stopped hoping and started planning. Sign 2. You treat your pension like a business. Most Brits run their pension on one setting: set and forget. They were auto-enrolled at work, they have never changed a thing, and they assume someone, somewhere, is taking care of it. The future rich retiree treats that pension like a small business that they own, and they ask 3 questions. First, what am I paying in fees? A difference of just 1% a year in charges can quietly eat a fortune out of your final pot over 30 years. Second, how is the fund actually performing? The default fund is rarely the best fund. Third, and this is the big one, am I capturing every penny of employer matching? If your employer will match your contributions and you are not paying in enough to claim the full match, you are turning down free money. There is no investment on earth that beats an instant, guaranteed top-up from your employer. And keep one eye on the rules, because they are moving. The state pension age is climbing from 66 to 67 right now, phased in through 2028, with a rise to 68 already on the horizon. The age you can even touch. Your private pension is rising from 55 to 57 from 2028. The goalposts are moving later. The earlier you engage, the more time you have to react. Sign 3. You live below your British means. This is the one nobody wants to hear. The single biggest threat to your retirement is not the stock market, it is lifestyle creep. Here is how it works. You get a promotion, the pay rises by £3,000, and almost instantly, so does your spending. The semi-detached house becomes a slightly bigger semi-detached house. The car gets traded in for a newer Range Rover on finance. The supermarket shop quietly drifts from Aldi to the premium aisles at Tesco. Within months, the raise has vanished, and you feel exactly as stretched as you did before. The British middle class has perfected this. We do not get richer when we earn more, we just get more expensive. The future rich do something almost boring instead. When the raise lands, they let their lifestyle rise a little, because life is for living, but they divert half of every single pay rise straight into a stocks and shares ISA before they ever get used to spending it. You never miss money, you never saw. Same promotion, same salary. One person inflates their lifestyle, the other inflates their freedom. Sign 4. You own appreciating assets. Wealthy retirees understand one brutal rule about money. Some things go up and some things go down, and you want to own the things that go up. A brand new car is the classic trap. Drive it off the forecourt and it loses around 20% of its value almost instantly. Keep it a few years, and most of your money has simply evaporated. It is a depreciating asset dressed up as a reward. Now compare that to a global index fund held inside an ISA. History is not a guarantee, but a broad global stock market has, over the long run, tended to roughly double every 7 to 10 years. Tax-free, inside your ISA, completely shielded from the taxman. This is the heart of the famous ISA versus house debate. Your home is wonderful, but you have to live in it, and it will not post you an income in retirement. A pot of appreciating investments will. The rich retiree is relaxed about driving an older car, because every spare pound is busy buying assets that grow while they sleep. Sign 5. You've made peace with debt. Wealthy people are not afraid of debt. They are just very, very picky about it. They split it into 2 piles in their head. The first pile is good debt, a mortgage on a home you will live in for decades. A student loan that, in the UK, behaves more like a graduate tax than a credit card and is quietly written off after a set number of years. This is debt attached to something that builds your life or your earning power, usually at a low rate. The second pile is bad debt, and it is the silent killer of retirements. A credit card charging around 25% interest. Buy now, pay later, on Klarna, for a sofa you have not finished paying for by the time it wears out. Car finance stacked on car finance. This debt does the opposite of compounding for you. It compounds against you. Here is the simple test the future rich apply. Does this debt buy me something that grows or something that shrinks? If it shrinks, they clear it first, fast, and never carry a balance at that kind of interest rate. You cannot build wealth while paying 25% to a credit card company. Sign 6. You think in decades, not Fridays. The final sign is the one that ties all the others together, and it lives entirely in your head. Most people think in Fridays. The whole week points at the weekend. Payday arrives, and it is spent before it lands. The horizon is the next holiday, the next big match, the next payday. There is nothing wrong with enjoying your life, but if Friday is the only finish line you can see, your money never gets the one thing it needs most: time. The future rich think in decades. They understand compounding in their bones. They know that a pound invested in their 30s is worth dramatically more at retirement than a pound invested in their 50s. Because it has decades to grow on itself, again and again. They are not trying to get rich by Friday, they are letting the years quietly do the heavy lifting. When you start thinking in decades, every small decision changes. That extra £50 a month into your pension stops feeling like a sacrifice and starts looking like a future cruise. So there they are, 6 signs. Know your numbers, run your pension like a business, live below your means, own things that appreciate, make peace with the right kind of debt, and think in decades. Notice what is not on that list. There is no get-rich-quick scheme, no perfect stock, no secret nobody else knows. Because here is the truth that separates our 2 workers, the one at Aldi and the one on the cruise. Wealth in retirement is almost never built in the last 5 years before you stop work. By then, it is far too late. It is built in the 30 years before, in 1,000 small, quiet, almost invisible decisions. The pay rise you half saved, the fund fee you checked, the flashy car you did not buy. You cannot change the last 30 years, but the next 30 start today. And if you have just recognized yourself in even a few of these signs, then the cruise, not the egg aisle, is already quietly waiting for you. If you learned something from this video, like, and don't forget to hit subscribe.